more of a formal presentation, but obviously we can raise your hand, throw out questions as you need to. There's a lot I want to cover. We have some new people in here. We have some returners in here. I want to lay out some of the background of endorphin fitness, as well as the high performance team program. And then I want to go over some just important details that will be important for new as well as returning athletes. And then to finish up, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping stuff, and we'll go from there. Sound good? Awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So this is some of that background information. Some of you people that have been here for a long time might not have ever seen this information. And I thought it'd be important just to share this. Our staff is all about this slide. Every staff meeting we have, we open up with this slide, because this is the core values that really make endorphin fitness what it is. So this is really important because from our adult coaching to our youth coaching to our fitness coaching to what we do in the shop to what we're trying to do with you guys, this is what motivates us. And so we just want you to understand that. Again, it's some background information. So our core purpose, why I started Endorphin Fitness 11 years ago, at the heart was to have an impact on lives. I actually started with a mentoring program where I was working with kids on a one-to-one basis, really just trying to impact their life, support their parents, and raising them. All right? And then from there, I got the opportunity to start a youth triathlon team. For me, that was an opportunity to impact more people. And so I love the sport of triathlon. I'm very passionate about it, but at the center of what I'm trying to do with this is I'm trying to play a role in you guys' life in a way that impacts your life long term. Triathlon is just my vehicle to be able to do that. And so I really believe athletics and physical fitness, it impacts lives. That teaching y'all that you can accomplish amazing things here will enable you to also, or empower you to do that in other areas of your life as well. And that's what it's all about to me. Guys that are just coming in, there are some chairs up front if y'all want to grab them out of the cycling room, or you can just sit on some of these benches, make chairs, whatever works for you. All right? So here I've assembled a group of experts who are passionate about triathlon, but even more importantly, they're passionate about impacting lives in a positive way. And so that makes up our 25-person staff here. From the people in our shop, to the people that work with you guys at your practices, to guys that coach our athletes worldwide online. So that's big picture of what endorphin fitness is at its core. Now, these are our core values, which I think are important to share as well, which support our core purpose. All right? So first, people first. So again, it comes back to y'all's individual lives, your individual stories. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm interested in impacting, is those individual lives. I believe in excellence. I don't believe in doing things okay. I don't believe in doing things average. I don't believe in you guys being average. And so I'm always going to push you towards excellence. I'm always going to push the staff here towards excellence. It's very important that you understand that, and that's what our program is built on. Quality enhancing growth. We are an organization that's built on growing. We don't want to stay the same. We want to bring new people in. We want to expand into new areas. But with that, our focus is doing that will enhance y'all's experience. Bringing more people on enables us to have more people to train with, as well as for us to offer an even more quality experience for y'all. Bar raising integrity. If you know anything about endorphin fitness, you know this is really important to me. I think it goes without saying though. And then profit that benefits humanity. We'll talk about this a little bit more because it's a huge focus it's always been a focus, but it's going to be a huge focus. We have some new exciting ideas in the area of giving back and service this year. And I'm going to heavily involve you guys in it because I think it's an important part of you growing up and being mature adult human beings at some point. So we're going to be talking about what that looks like in terms of giving back a little bit more today. All right, now you'll see this charge, be more, live red. It started as live red, it's expanded to be more, live red. This essentially, what we're saying here is we want you to always seek to be better than you were the day before. We want you to seek to be a better athlete, and in turn, we want that to permeate into the rest of your life. That's the live red part. So we want to impact your life in terms of athletics, and then for that to permeate into other areas of your life. And that's our charge. Is to not just live it here, but live it in the rest of your life also. And that's the whole live red philosophy. All right? So, for you guys that are new, and the returners, I think it's important that everyone understands what you guys accomplished in 2015. Now, this is not just our high performance team. This is everyone we coach, youth, adult, all of our different programs. But it's pretty impressive. Last year was an impressive year. This year is going to be even better. So we had countless personal records and first-time finishes. Let me just say, before we get into any of the other, that's what we're about. The other stuff is a byproduct of that. What we are about is impacting individuals and teaching them and progressing them to levels that they didn't think were possible. Now, some of those, as you progress, achieve amazing results and get a lot of recognition. But what I care about is that every single one of you is being developed over time. And that's an exciting thing. And we have just countless breakthroughs last year in this group as well as outside of this group. We had one endorphin fitness athlete win the short course world championship overall. This is the biggest accomplishment of an amateur athlete. It's right up there, and it's hard to say which one would be a bigger accomplishment. Winning the long course world championship would be Kona. It is the most competitive race in the world, and we had an athlete just crush it. That athlete was developed over time. We met them when he barely beat Parker and myself in a race. So we know that he came from not being great. He really got developed over time to accomplish something great. Every single one of you has potential to do way more than you think possible. We had 3 endorphin fitness athletes win national championship titles. One of those was overall. All right. We had 4 endorphin fitness athletes podium at national championships. We had 4 athletes this year move from amateur status to accomplishing professional status, which is not easy in any respect. We had 3 endorphin fitness athletes qualify for the Kona Ironman World Championships, which is a huge accomplishment. Our team was the 3rd amateur at Youth Nationals, and then the 5th elite team, you guys, for the whole series last year. We also coach the Liberty University cycling and triathlon teams, and it was our first full year with that program. They had a lot of success this year, so that was a big accomplishment we're real proud of. And then this last piece is something that's very important to us. We raised over $20,000 for several local organizations. You guys played a huge part in that because y'all did a lot to serve those different communities, from the Virginia Home for Boys and Girls to the Down Syndrome Association of Greater Richmond, which we went out and raced for and did great. And then Housing Families First. We also did some other service projects as well. They didn't bring funds in, but still contributed our time. That was great. Like going down to the neighborhood downtown last year and just working on bikes, which many of y'all came out and participated in also. So it's a big year. I think all of you should be very proud of what you accomplished, as well as proud of the organization that you're part of. So, what is a high performance team? Okay, so I want to lay a little bit of background here. For some of you, this is review. For some of you, this is like completely new information. I think it's important that we're all on the same page. So several years ago, the short of it is that USA was getting crushed, getting our butts kicked in the world of triathlon. It was an Olympic sport, but we weren't putting anyone on the podium. Okay? So USA Triathlon said, what are the other countries doing that we are not? And the answer was, there's no junior or collegiate triathlon program. Okay? So USA Triathlon started first with a junior program. All right? The high performance team structure was built out of that desire. Okay? So what they did is they created a series. All right? It started with I think 2 races leading into nationals. Might have just been 1 race leading into nationals. And then they tagged certain teams around the country and said, you have the talent on your team as well as the coaching staff to develop Olympic talent. We're going to tag you as a high performance team. We learned of this in the 2nd year, and we were tagged in the 2nd year. It's now our 7th year. We're going into our 7th year. And so we were tagged, and in that first year, we showed up at the first race. All right? And we came out, and I was like, oh my goodness, what in the world? It was like a completely new level. I had never seen this. I mean, kids, they were all professionals. And I was like, what in the world is going on? So I remember we raced our first race. We brought the whole team together, put them under the tent, and I said, well, we learned a lot there. And that was an experience. So here's my commitment to y'all. In the next 3 years, we're going to be one of the top teams on this series. And we move forward from there. The next year, I think we were already one of the top teams. I want to say we were definitely in the top 10. The following year, we finished 3rd in the series. So it was a big, quick incline, but it really came from, we just needed 1 year to figure out what in the world this was all about, and then we really put all the resources in it to really make you guys as great as possible. So like I said, now we're in our 7th year. We've had a lot of success with it. Things are going great. From this, because Endorphin Fitness has done really well in this series, because our brand is known for our youth programs nationwide very well, we started having other teams reach out to us and say, we want to be part of Endorphin Fitness. You know, we've got this small team, but we know that we'd rather be part of something bigger. This was the birth of many multiple locations. So we now have a location. It started in Hampton Roads. There was a team down there that became Endorphin Fitness. Then there's a team in Prince William that had a very large team that said, we want to be part of Endorphin Fitness. That was the second edition. Then we started a brand new program up in Fairfax, and that has grown steadily. They're actually becoming one of the largest besides us on the series. And then we have a team down in Florida, which is just a coach that I've coached alongside for a long time and have a lot of respect for. So now it's kind of cool because we have our Richmond-based team, and then we have multiple other locations where we get together for some different things like testing, for some different camps, and then at the races we all come together. We have our individual coaches that are kind of responsible for their individual athletes there, but we all race under the Endorphin Fitness name. And they follow the training program that I create. So those coaches are operating off of our same training program, which we'll talk about a little bit more as we move into this. The races, okay? So high performance team, like I said, USA Triathlon started this program when it started the juniors. Side note right before I get in there. So then, the USA Triathlon started really focusing on collegiate recruitment first, and then collegiate development. So they started a collegiate recruitment program. Right now, the top USA triathletes for short course, which are on the Olympic track, came out of either that collegiate recruitment program where they would take really good swimmers or really good runners out of college who had a background in either in the opposite sport and develop them post-grad. okay, as triathletes. So taking a runner, becoming a triathlete, taking a swimmer, becoming a triathlete. So that was an emphasis. This is where Gwen Jorgensen came out of, who was undefeated all this year, is by far the favorite going into the Olympics. She's won, it's two, maybe even 3 years, but I think it's been two, won the World Cup Series for International Triathlon Union. So it's, we've had success. We've also got several guys on the guy side that were products of the junior program. Many of y'all were racing with them when they were juniors, and now they are our top Olympic hopefuls coming out of the junior program. So all this to say, USA Triathlon did the right thing. And the intended effect of this focus is working. And USA is quickly becoming a dominant force on the elite circuit, which is great. So, the races, let's go to those. We're going to talk about what these races look like in just a little bit. But Nationals is the goal of the High Performance Team Series. So they have, or they would call it Junior Elite Series. So right now there are 4 different races, okay? There's Richmond, there's Wisconsin, there's Monroe, and there's Des Moines. Each of those qualifies for the national championship, okay? The only way you get to the national championship is through one of those races. The way you do that is by being top 20 that have not, in your individual race, that have not already qualified for nationals. So, for instance, Richmond is one of the toughest to get in to qualify for nationals because no one's qualified yet. So, top 20 to finish, nationals, no one else gets it. Next race, you take those top 20 out, and you've got, and it rolls to, let's say 10 of those people show up, so therefore to effectively roll to 30th position. So you can kind of see how that plays out. You'll want to remember that when we come back to why we chose the races that we did. All right? But Nationals it has been and still remains the major goal of many of you guys for the year, is getting to Nationals. It becomes more and more competitive each year. The registration system is very competitive. I know that sounds crazy, but what I mean by that is that when races open, they fill very fast. And there tends to be, so they'll fill very fast, but then there tends to be a wait list, okay? And being one of the race directors, because I put on the Richmond race, I know that we'll have a wait list of about 100, okay, trying to get into the race. Well, I would say 80% of those we do go through, because what kids do is they all sign up for all the races the second the race is open, and then as backups, and then they drop out as they get closer to the race. So I just want you to understand how the registration system works if you're going to be racing on the Junior Elite Series. Just to kind of keep in mind, you want to be quick on the computer and making sure you're getting in those races if you're certain that you want to do them. But we can also play that system just a little bit. Other piece, they're draft legal, okay? This is, so long story short, back in the 90s, the International Triathlon Union said, we want triathlon to be an Olympic sport. The Olympic Committee told the International Triathlon Union, says, it's boring, we're not going to do it, okay? So the International Triathlon Union said, we'll make it interesting, okay? The result of that is a draft legal race. What this means is that swimmers swim together, okay? You want to be able to get out, you want to be as good of a swimmer as possible, so that when you get out of the water, you're with a pack, okay? And one of the front packs, ideally. Then you get out and you can draft on the bike. Well, when you're drafting on the bike, you can work around 20% less at the same speed, okay? So it's very easy, it's much easier to stay with someone when you're drafting than when you're not. So what this produces is a pack where everyone is riding together. The cool part about this is that when those athletes get off the bike, it's not one athlete coming in, going on the run. 30 seconds later, another athlete coming in, going on the run. In some of these races, I've actually been in some where we'll have 50 athletes getting off the bike together. and it becomes a very exciting running race. And so it worked. It's a very exciting race. Marathon in the Olympics still is not that exciting, but this is exciting. And so they did a good job, and that's how they got it in. So remember, the Junior Elite Series, it's focused on producing Olympians. Okay? So the type of racing that we do is draft legal racing, which means, again, we have to really be good swimmers. Okay, to do well in the draft legal cycle, you need to be good swimmers who are good bike handlers on the bike and that can run really well. Okay, and that was our big learning experience when we showed up for the first Junior Elite race. We didn't have good swimmers, and since then we have greatly expanded our swim program for that reason. Okay, the other cool part to make this exciting is it's multi-lap. Okay, so when you're out there, you're doing multiple laps at once so that you're seeing these athletes multiple times, and that makes it exciting. The complication of that is that you can't have athletes out there on different laps. So, big thing to remember for you new guys is that you can be lapped out. And this is becoming harder and harder not to be lapped out as the talent continues to grow. Okay, so what I mean by lapped out is if the lead cyclist catches the back cyclist, that back cyclist is asked to get off the course and walk back. Okay, and you cannot ride your bike, you have to walk back. So, I just want everyone to understand what the dynamics of an elite race looks like. Okay, last piece are there's different rules. So you got to have a draft legal race is raced on a road bike. Okay, standard road bike, drop bars. There's certain wheels that you can use, and there's certain wheels that you can't use when you're in this type of racing. And we have that whole list, and we can kind of help you through that. You also have to have a uniform that is pretty standard. They all look the same, all the different teams. Now we get around that a little bit because all the other teams, for the most part, have black uniforms. Well, we put our kids in red uniforms so they stand out and we can actually find them on the course. Plus it's just our brand. So, but the logo placement and everything else has to be perfectly placed in different spots to race a junior elite race. So, a little bit of background on the program. Now, last little piece I'll share is if you, I'd say again, coming back to the success of USA Triathlon, it's very successful at producing our future Olympic talent. And so those that have moved through it very successfly have gone on to be our future Olympians. And that's what we're going to see largely with this next Olympics coming up. All right? Any questions on that?
You get laughed at, you're out of the race, right?
Out of the race. Yeah. So, taking that's all background information. Okay? Now let's talk about what 2016 looks like. Okay? Now, this is the same slide that I presented to our adults about a month ago. Okay? And it is a organizational focus vision for our athletes and our teams that plays right into what we want y'all to be thinking about as we move into this year. And you've already kind of seen some of this happen. So, community. We're really focused on creating rich social community building opportunities for you guys. For you guys with each other, as well as you guys with our adult team, as well as you guys with the outer community, which we'll talk about next. Next piece is service. We are very focused on this year, again with our adults and our youth, making sure that y'all have opportunities to give back in many different ways. And so we've got some exciting things planned for that, which we'll talk about. And then lastly, results. This has always been an emphasis of ours. It'll continue to be an emphasis of ours. 2016 will be an even better year than 2015. So, a few things that we're doing to make sure that this happens. We're having a unified race schedule. We'll talk about what that means. We are expanding our social calendar to provide more we just want you guys to have fun. All right, I want to create a lot of opportunities for you to have fun and enjoy each other. We're creating some impactful service opportunities, and then we're continuing to offer unparalleled coaching. All right, so let's go over those, and as we go through this, I'm going to kind of tackle some of the nuts and bolts of things as we kind of talk about under each of these big vision ideas. All right, so in the years past, okay, this team has focused, I would say 95% on the Junior Elite Series, okay? We have had athletes, not every athlete at each one, but we have had athletes at all 4 races on the Junior Elite Series, and then at Nationals. And because of that, there wasn't a lot of room for other races, okay? We're taking a different approach this year, and it's actually an approach that USA Triathlon is encouraging, and we're seeing the top athletes do as well. One, I want us to, instead of having 5 athletes at this race, 10 athletes at this race, and then 20 at this one, I want instead us to pick a couple races that we're going to go to and have everyone go to them. It's going to be a lot more fun. Again, it gets at that community. It gets at creating a more fun experience for you guys. So on the Junior Elite Series, I've chosen the races that I think work best for our team. We'll talk about those in just a second. Then that frees up our schedule a little bit. Okay? So now I've put in some non-draft, local, wake up that morning, drive to them races in the local, in Virginia that we're going to do as well. Couple things there why I really wanted to see more of these on our schedule. One is just pure simply, it's sometimes not that motivating to race against the best in the world only. So what I find is a lot of you guys don't realize how great you are. Okay? You're amazing. And you can go into local races and finish in the top overall and do really well with it. And so I want y'all to have an opportunity to experience that and do that more and more. Okay? Number 2, this provides an opportunity for guys that are new into the team to get some race experience without being thrown into the wolves. Okay? And so, it's true. It's very competitive, the Junior Elite Series. So we have some opportunities for you to get a more race experience. Okay? And so that's the second big focus. The third is some of you guys are amazing cyclists, amazing runners, and you struggle on the swim. It is very hard to do well in the Junior Elite Series with that. Not that we aren't going to continue to develop that swim, but many of you guys can come out of your time here as a high-performance team member and go into non-draft racing and do extremely well, even as a professional. Okay, if that's something that you want to do. But it was heavy on my heart last year that I haven't really given you the opportunity to experience that. And so then you come out and you think that the only thing out there is Junior Elite Racing, which is it's a very small percentage of people really make it in that. And so I feel like I've done you a little bit of a disservice there. So that's why I want to blend the two and give you an experience with both of them. And I think it'll work really, really well. Now, we host one of those races, one of the Junior Elite races. We also have an amateur race there. You could essentially choose which one you want to do, and I'll help you make that decision. But given that there's no travel, that we can do this quite simply, I will probably encourage most of you to try the elite race there, because we might as well get your feet wet with it. And that's an opportunity to get to try it out and see how it goes. All right? So that's what that looks like. Now, we are putting a huge emphasis on when we have these team races. So we've done this with our adults too. Here's a limited amount of team races. Instead of being spread out all over the place, we're going to be at these races. But when we go to those races, we're gonna show up with a bang, okay? As we like to call it, we're gonna bring the sea of red to these races. So at these races, you're gonna see 75, 100 of endorphin fitness athletes. You guys are adults. We're gonna have our coaches there. We're gonna have family there, supporters there. It's gonna be a big showing, all right? At these, we're gonna, especially we'll probably be able to do this at most of our out-of-town races as well, or elite races, but Monroe creates some challenges since we have to fly there. So for the ones that we're driving to, we plan to have a nice setup where you supporters, you have some food to enjoy, and the athletes have some food to enjoy. We actually brought on a sponsor to help with that this year, who's going to be providing a lot of the resources to be able to offer that for you guys. So that's going to be awesome. As well. And then our whole goal is to make those a big party. So you go out to the races, it's just a big party. We're gonna have games going on. We're gonna have a cheer station out on the course. We're gonna have food. We're gonna it's just a good time to just come together and socialize with each other as well as race. So that's what that's gonna look like this year, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to hand out in just a second the team race calendar. This does not include some cycling races, because later today, all of the directors of all the cycling teams from around Virginia are meeting here. They're going to replace you all at these seats while we're in Wintergreen, and they're going to decide the 2016 race schedule. After I have that, I'm going to lay out some different races, and I'm going to encourage y'all to come together to race some of those races in those cycling races as a team. And we have a lot of you guys that want to pursue cycling more. Great. Again, I don't want to limit. I love endurance. I want you to pursue all of this stuff. So that's fantastic. So we jump into some running races. We jump into some cycling races. They're not on the calendar, but we'll kind of add those in as we go and as those schedules become more apparent. Cool? So, do me a favor, I printed enough for the kids, so if y'all can kind of share. No, I mean parents. Look with your, you're not beside your kid. Here, I'll just pass this around. Y'all share. If we need to make more copies, I can push print real quick and we can grab some more. But if y'all can just take a look at that. Actually, what I'll do too, let me do this. Nope, that's not y'all's. So this is what it's up here. So this is what our race schedule looks like for the year. Now again, we've got a running race in a couple weeks. So not all that's on here. What I'm really focused on here is our triathlon schedule. So we always open up the year with Claremont. This is March 5th and 6th in Florida. This is not, let me be very clear, this is not part of the Junior Elite Series, okay? It will not qualify you for nationals. But what it does provide is an early season opportunity to race a draft legal race. And against most of the same people that are on the Junior Elite Series. Most of them come down. Plus, I find that if we are waiting till Richmond in May to do our first race, it can be very demotivating to not race earlier in the year. So what I like to do is I like to break up the year so we have kind of a peak fitness. So we bring you, our training cycle ends with this race, okay? And whether you're racing or not, it's just a good compilation of the winter training. And then we reboot and start to work through the remainder of the races, peaking at nationals at that point. Now, so that's why those two are highlighted. These are our peak times. Now, I'll start down here and then work my way back. I'll come back up in just a second. So you'll see the weekend of nationals, I've got 2 opportunities, and really there's 3 opportunities for 15 and under, okay? If you qualify for nationals, which we have qualified probably 80% of our athletes in the past. I think is a good estimate there. If you qualify for nationals, you'll race nationals that weekend. At nationals, there's also an amateur nationals, which is for 15 and under. If you don't qualify and you're 15 and under, that's an opportunity as well. Okay? Third is Culpeper. It's one of our team races. Okay? It's one of our team races in Virginia. That's where a lot of our athletes have gone in the past if they didn't qualify for nationals. So that's another opportunity. I want you to race one of those three because that would be a compilation of a year of training, and we want to see how that goes. So after Claremont, we have Smithfield, okay? It's about an hour and a half, Smithfield, Virginia. It's a great season opener. It's the first race on the Virginia Triathlon Series, and it's just a great overall start. That's a pool swim, 10-mile bike, and then a 5K run. Very short, controlled pool swim. It's a great introductory race of the year. So it's perfect for especially you beginners. All right? Now, I have a couple races that are support. These are team races that I don't want our juniors to race, but our adults are racing. I want them on your calendar because what I would like for us to do is go out and be in charge of the cheer station at those races. Because I want you guys to go out there and support the adults, so the adults will come out and support y'all more. And so I think there's some fun things that we can do. Look at it as a big social opportunity. Go out and support our adults at these races.
You know how the adults pick the theme for like some of the other races?
Yeah?
Can we pick the theme for that?
Absolutely. I think y'all can have at it. All right? So we have Monument Avenue 10K, which you will learn I am a big proponent of kids not racing longer distances. Race shorter distance as possible. So the only people in here that I would recommend race a 10K would be like our 18, 19-year-olds that are starting to transition to collegiate style racing. Otherwise, 5K and less. Okay? So Richmond Tri-Club Sprint, it's great. It's our local triathlon club. We like to support them. It's a good opportunity to just go out and support. Okay? So there's our support races. Then May 1st, we have the Richmond race, also known as the East Coast Triathlon Festival. There we have our elite races. We have athletes typically come from over 40 states to participate in that. Okay? We have an amateur adult race. Okay? And we also have a kids amateur race. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's a big festival, big day, and it's a big focus within Norfolk Fitness to get ready for it as well. All right? After that, May 15th is Kinetic Sprint Triathlon. This is in Lake Anna, a little over an hour away. Open water swim, 12-mile bike, 5K run. It's a great event, and will be a lot of fun for all of you guys to do. Okay, so I'm hoping, so this is one of the races that we want everyone to be in, okay? The Smithfield, we want everyone to do that. We want everyone at Richmond, okay, doing one of the races. Monroe will be one that I'm gonna encourage anyone that wants to race nationals, I want you at Monroe as well. If some of you, we talk about it and you're like, you know, I'll go for nationals at Richmond, but if it doesn't work out there, it's not my main focus this year because it's my first year, that's okay. But here, we're gonna have probably 30, 40 athletes doing that race, and that's a focus. Now, in between Richmond, okay, there is Wisconsin right around this time, okay? You'll notice that's an elite schedule, elite race. We're not doing that one, I'll explain why in just a second. Okay, then we have Monroe, and then you have Des Moines, okay? That's the next one. It's been the longest standing race on the series, and then you have nationals. So why did I choose Monroe over those? Well, one, Wisconsin so I think the competition at Monroe and Wisconsin will be pretty similar. Monroe gives us one more race for people to qualify at. So the chance of qualifying will be greater at Monroe. Des Moines is the most competitive race on the series. The top of the top show up at that race. And this year, I can't remember the status it's got, but it's gonna be an international race as well, meaning there's gonna be some international athletes. So you say, well, they're not going to take my national championship slot, so what does that mean? Well, the issue is they're pushing the pace at the front of the group, which causes more athletes to get lapped out. And at Monroe, for instance, if you finish the race in some of the categories, you qualified last year. Okay? And so the chance of getting lapped out at Monroe is a lot less than in Des Moines. So Monroe, I feel like, is the best shot. Richmond is not a great shot, but at the same time, it's in Richmond, so why wouldn't we just do it?
Just curious, Monroe is a great idea, but how many other teams have that same idea?
They haven't in the past. They might, and there might be a few, but I think the issue is the largest team on the series is concentrated in either near Pleasant Prairie, which though, and a lot of them are focused very close to Des Moines. And so most people look at Monroe and say, well, I'm not going all the way to the West Coast. Yeah, the West Coast athletes would like it, but I'm not traveling all the way across when I have races Central. So you'll find Central and East Coast athletes go Richmond and Des Moines. And that's where the most competitive teams are on the series. And then you have West Coast, it's just people don't want to travel there because, I mean, it's a tough flight. We do the red eye. Most people think it's more expensive. It's not more expensive than Des Moines. It tends to be the same in terms of price. So
Like $200 cheaper.
Matthew says it's $200 cheaper. So and it's one of my favorite venues. I love it. It's beautiful. It's great for the kids to go out and be in the mountains. It's really a cool setup. And then Robius Triathlon. So if you are racing Monroe, you will not race Robius Triathlon the next weekend. But I would like, this is the old Tavern Triathlon. And so I'd love for you to come out and support them. If you didn't race Monroe, I would like for you to race the Robius Triathlon. Okay, simple enough. Colonial Beach Sprint, another one of our adult and junior team races. That'll be a lot of fun. And it's a great race. I actually grew up racing this race every year in high school. It used to bring in the top professionals on the East Coast to race. It's not really that anymore, but it's got a lot of history, which is why I explained that. And then you've got Junior League Nationals Culpeper Sprint. After that, I asked the kids to take 2 weeks off, okay? And then we start August preparations, which are very light. And then we start to build back, start at the beginning of September. So that's what it looks like. Cool. Any questions on that schedule?
I don't know that much about triathlon the whole time. So on the USA site, it has a whole ranking of, they rank kids. And we don't seem to be on that ranking. It has to do more with, I guess, local races, not the junior elite series, but other races. And what does that ranking mean? Does it help in getting to get through this collegiate program where they're developing teams in colleges? And then the second part of that is, I often see that kids are participating in age group nationals, which is usually the week after the junior league. What's the difference between?
Great.
What is that age group national about?
Yeah, great question. So don't let me forget the two while I'm answering number one. So there's 3 different rankings out there. The first is amateur rankings. Okay, so this is probably the ranking that you're referring to. Unfortunately, junior elite races do not show up on that. You need to race 3 races. If you race more than that, they take your top 3. And there is a point system based on how you perform against the top athletes. And that gives you your ranking for the year. So the cool thing about this year is we have enough races that are non-draft races that you will start to show up on that ranking system.
Does that ranking system mean anything in collegiate?
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. But I will say most of the collegiate programs are recruiting based on success on the Junior Elite Series. All right. So then there's the Junior Elite ranking system. So these are made up of the 4 qualifiers and then nationals. Okay, and that is a series that you will have a ranking on, and we have a team ranking on. Okay. Now, what we're finding on that, in the past, I've been very fearful of not doing all the races because I was like, well, they won't have as good of a ranking and our team won't have as good of a ranking. But what we're finding is most of the teams are putting their kids in less of those races and pinpointing the ones that they really want to focus on. In the end of the day, a really good performance at one or two of those races trumps your overall ranking, in my opinion, in terms of recruiters and stuff like that. Then the third one is the draft legal ranking system. Okay, this includes all draft legal races. So we have several juniors racing international professional races as juniors, and so races like that, as well as international cups, will go towards that ranking as well. So like when Matthew raced Sarasota last year, he got points on that, as well as the Junior Elite Series contributed to that also. So that's what it looks like. Rankings matter, but I haven't had any, I'm not convicted that they matter that much, I guess is the way I'll put it. I would rather see our athletes do what's right in terms of their race schedule and perform well on that race.
And then the age group nationals.
Yes, I told you I'd forget. Age group nationals is an awesome event. They have an international distance and a sprint distance. There are many junior elite athletes that go and do that the weekend after nationals. I guess I would say, so I think Nebraska this year. Am I right on that? I think it's Nebraska this year. I didn't put it on simply because there's so much travel. It's not the most competitive race for a junior. Junior Nationals is the most competitive race. If that's something that you all want to do, I will say we will have a team there. Our adults are going. Coach Parker always goes. I would love for y'all to go and do it if that's something that you want to do. And if a big chunk of you want to go, I'd love to see us make it a team race.
What's the date for that?
The weekend after national.
August 6th or something.
Yes, I mean, as you had said before, the junior league circuit is getting so competitive.
Yeah.
And that biking part, she's not going away.
Yeah.
She's just getting stronger.
Yeah.
Those top three are getting very strong. So I didn't know if that, one strap, so I didn't know if that might be an alternative. I don't know how to get in there, you qualify, I just don't know.
For the sprint, you don't have to qualify. For the international, you do. Now, that's probably going to change eventually. But it's easy to qualify. All of our kids will qualify easily. Is there a lot of interest in doing that? Raise your hand if you want to go to that race this year.
Wait, it depends. Like, am I going to Junior Elite Nationals? Because if no, then yeah, I want to go.
Well, let's assume, who would want to go to both of those? Well, we got Colson. That's good. Hey, Karen. Where's Karen? Karen, you want to go to this? I usually have to defer past to ask you. So I would say that's definitely an opportunity if you want to pursue it. Let's have more conversations about that. Cool? All right, let's go back to this.
Michael?
Yes?
I'd like to ask a question in reference to a better understanding that lap out rule.
The lap out rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have a specific question, or?
Yeah, with the idea of these athletes wearing their timing chip, the computer keeps count. So why is somebody being pulled from a race just because the fastest person catches up to them? The computer knows where they're at. To me, it seems like it's not fair.
It's dangerous. Imagine a pack.
Because the motorcycle leads the first runner.
Wow, it's dangerous from
Full
more.
motorcycle guy off.
So you got to look at it this way. In some of these races, literally, I've been in a pack of 50 athletes rolling around the course, and you come up on a lone rider riding 3/4 the speed. It's just not safe. And it's also, there's no change in it. I mean, it's a safety issue, but also, I mean, we can argue till we're blue in the face. It's not going to change because it's specifically mandated from International Triathlon Union. And to prepare the athletes for elite racing, it's not going to change.
Well, the idea that it's not going to change, I have a hard time accepting that rules change all the time. You know, every year in any sport, they change rules. The idea of that pack catching up, I understand that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. What I see is that one really fast person, way out front, riding by herself or himself, catching that one person at a time.
Yeah.
It's not a pack of 50. It's not even a pack of 20 that I've seen.
Yeah, no, it's not always. It's usually a pack of 5. It's rare that it's 1, but Taylor Nibb has completely changed that.
She knocked out 14 of them in Monroe last year.
What'd you say?
She knocked out 14 of them in Monroe last year.
So she's
14 of how many?
14 to 75. Each of these races has 75 athletes in it.
Okay.
Taylor Nibb in that race beat the world champion by over a minute. She is crushing it. And so she gets out of the water with the front and she just goes and chases everyone down, being the back of the pack. So it is tough.
I just have like a question. Are you gonna do any local races with us?
Yeah, I plan to race all of those with you, the local ones. Are you coming for me? Is that what you're saying?
Did
Did y'all see that? He just like grinned and smiled. Did you see that? He's still bitter about last year.
I would like to see one coach, one program stand up and try and change a rule.
Yeah, well,
You do it then. You get up and you change the rule.
as a race director, I won't change that one. It's not safe. And I've been in that pack, it's just not safe. Now, there's many rules that we do change that I push for, but I don't agree with that one. Sorry, Warren.
You have 50 riders changing leads constantly.
You got to remember that. But here's the deal, though. It's an elite race. It's professionals. Their response is don't enter it. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but that's what USA Triathlon, that's what International Triathlon Union is going to say. Do an amateur race then. This is an elite race. So again, that's why I said I want opportunities for them not to be thrown to the wolves. I mean, it's tough. It's just not geared around that. So, but I appreciate your sentiments. There's one more thing here. So travel expenses, like I said, we are keeping our expenses lower this year, which is great, by doing less of these races, and hopefully that's something that y'all will appreciate because they do get expensive. Travel, typically, I think to Monroe, you can kind of plan on, if you're sending your child without you, around $800, $900. I would say. If you do send your child without you, you need to find a parent that's going to be going, that's going to be responsible. The coaches, we're very hands-on, but we need one parent who I can go to and say, I know that you're looking after this child. Parents do travel with their kids, that's great. We welcome it, we love it. Just expect to kind of help out a little bit while you're there because it is kind of an all-in effort. We do have a scholarship fund. So we have had multiple organizations, our sponsors, step up. We have had individuals step up over the years and put money in a scholarship fund. Our athletes can apply to that scholarship fund every year, and we help with those travel expenses out of that scholarship fund. A couple of pieces about that. You do have to apply, all right? It's simply a letter explaining essentially why you need it, how you're going to use it. and you're gonna follow through on the requirements of it, which are be at practice, log feedback, and write a thank you note at the end of the year to all of those people that donated. So that's simple, not hard, but as we'll talk about in just a little bit, some of that stuff isn't followed through on a regular basis. So we'll talk about what that looks like. Okay, I'm gonna try to fly through this stuff because I am behind.
Is the USA team under your scholarship fund as well?
What scholarship fund are you referring to?
I think
The Gwen Jorgensen one? I do remember something like that. Yeah. If it was there in the past, I'm sure it'll be there again. Did Caitlin receive that last year? Oh, great. Okay. Not the Gwen Jorgensen one, right? Because that one's really hard to get from what I've heard. So. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, we'll make you aware of all of those as soon as we know. And they tend to work pretty well. Okay, so social stuff. So let's divert for a second and talk about some fun. Okay, so a few different things what our social calendar is going to look like this year. One, I already talked about the race presence, just having a sea of red there. Two, we want to have a really good, fun, active social event about every 6 to 8 weeks. Things that we're looking to do this year are like rock climbing, kayaking, bowling,
Paintball.
scavenger hunt, paintball, different things like that are not just going out to eat after dinner, after practice. We look back on the previous years and it seems like a lot of our social events were around food, and that's great, and those will still be there. We'll still have those, but we want to have a big all-in social event that's for y'all as well as our adults. Rafting down in James in the summer, just fun stuff. So, I'm not going to take time to collect ideas right now, but please be thinking about that. If you're passionate about something, you want to do it, please just email me and let me know. Also, we'll continue to expand on kind of the classics that we've done in the past, like our river party, the ECTF dinner. We're trying to really blow up this year, so there's a lot more people there, and then our annual banquet that we'll talk about. Also, so in the past we've had a social committee, okay? And that social committee had a chair and then a committee. This year we're getting away from that. One of our staff members, our office manager, Donna, is going to take the lead with setting up these events. But we are asking everyone that's on the team, youth, as well as our adults, as well as our parents, to just help out in some way. It might be just like bringing the food to a potluck or helping and organizing an event or something. It's not going to be a huge commitment whatsoever, but we're just going to be kind of pinging you to, hey, can you just help out with us a little bit this time? So that's what that looks like. We're not like most swim teams out there and things like that where you've got a ridiculous amount of volunteer hours or you write a check towards fundraising. We're not asking you to do that, but just try to be on, help out as much as you can, support at the races, different things like that. A couple things that we have coming up. This is kind of getting away a little bit from just social events, but on December 5th, we're not going to have swim practice, okay, or the bike. We're going to do the Nutsy Fun Run, okay, which is a great fast 5K. That starts from the Diamond, and then right around the corner from there is staging for the Christmas parade, which we are in this year. And we want y'all to be involved in that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got this whole theme of reindeer on trainers, on the back of a float, pulling an elf in a sled, and runners running around. It's going to be fun. So if you have not committed to that, please email Donna@endorphinfitness.com and say that you want to do that. All right, because I want y'all to be involved in it because it's going to be fun. On 12/17, so this is a Thursday night, I'm going to figure out the exact time that we're going to do that so that y'all can still get the swim practice because I would like for y'all to. But we always have our annual lights run, so we meet here. We put on a lot of lights and we go visit all the tacky houses in the area. We do like a 5K. in there. And then we have a big cookie bake-off afterwards back here. Lots of fun. I hope all of y'all will do that. The 19th, when you're full of cookies, will be team testing. We're going to go back to West Street this year and do that again there. This is a bike run time trial that we have done for 8 years and enables us to kind of track progress over time. It's, we're always a little bit dependent on the cold and whether it's, based on how the performances happen, but we do our best there. And then team banquet, it's more of like a team celebration. Will be January 30th, starting at 5 o'clock, I believe, that Saturday night. So please keep that on your calendar because that's always a fun celebration at the end of the year.
So Michael, you're saying on the 17th there will be a swim practice?
No, I'm saying there will be swim practice, and I need to figure out if we can start that just a tad bit earlier to get them to swim practice.
So you can go swim while you're full of cookies.
That's right. That's right. Well, I know y'all would make good choices with your cookie eating.
Why'd you move it back to West Creek instead?
Because now the pavement is good, and I think logistically it's just better, and I want y'all to get swim practice after you test. All right. So, we talked about impactful service. Okay? Some exciting things here. So I'm going to start here and then work my way up. So we're going to continue to do a lot of different things. Every year we put on a race for the Virginia Home for Boys and Girls. We do it and don't take any money for it. We ask for a lot of volunteers to help make it happen. And then we donate all the funds to, I think we raised like $15,000 for the Virginia Home for Boys and Girls last year with that. We also will do a lot of fun things with the Virginia Home for Boys and Girls, just kind of being part of the kids there's lives throughout the year as well. And so just kind of keep that in mind. Again, we'll be pinging you to kind of help with that. We'll probably do something else again with the Into the Neighborhood, which is an organization in a very tough neighborhood. And most of the travel in that neighborhood is done by bike. They don't have many cars in the neighborhood. So we went down and just repaired their bikes one day. We'll probably be looking to do another one of those. There's some interest on the adults with doing some trail cleanup and giving back to the trails that we use. We're going to be looking for various charity runs. That's one of the things. Nutsy Run benefits United Methodist Family Services, which is an organization that does the same thing that is Virginia Home for Boys and Girls. And so we're going to support them at that race. So that's one of the main reasons we're running that one. And, I asked, again, I'm going to get you to email me ideas, but what are you passionate about? Are you involved in any kind of service opportunities that you think would be really cool for everyone else to do? If you're passionate about some of that stuff, please email me and let me know, because we're kind of setting our 2016 schedule in cement here soon. So please let me know about that. I want to show you a video real quick. This is about more than sport, okay? And so let me show that real quick and we'll go from there. Not Karen, I'm sorry, Colson. Can you go just knock all those lights down? All right, let me see here. I gotta get that. Hey, can anyone write down that number right there?
Michael, you could probably just type it in right there at the bottom.
Where?
The search the web in Windows.
Well, it won't. Oh, I see. Will that work?
Maybe. Just type in the website. They hit enter.
Cool. All right, so this is about an organization called Morton Sport, and this is about one of their events that they did after Kona and Ironman World Championships. Oh shoot, forgot him. Y'all hear that?
Volunteers that come with the job. is centered around global sporting events, harnessing the power of international icons and athletic champions. This October, we are landing in Kona, Hawaii for the Ironman World Championship. World-class athletes like Craig Alexander, Tim O'Donnell, Lindsay Corbin, and Meredith Kessler will come together to help train up the leaders of the next generation. Our goal is to provide 141 teams with an 8-week mentorship program. Whether you're racing, supporting, spectating, or sitting at home, you can make a difference. So join us and be a part of the team at forthesport.org.
All right, Colson, you can kill those lights again. No, turn on the lights. Sorry about that. Forgot that I didn't have the speakers hooked up. Could y'all hear that at all?
Somewhat.
All right, hopefully you got a decent idea. So here's the deal, Morton Sport, after big races, will stay 2 to 3 days after the race, bring in a lot of professional athletes and a lot of amateur athletes to serve the community that they just raced in, okay? So we reached out to them and said, we want to do this for some of our bigger events. They were overjoyed. They'd never had an organization, a coaching organization, reach out to them and say, we want to partner with you. So we are going to be doing it with our adults after Rev 3 Williamsburg and Ironman Maryland, okay? Rev 3 Williamsburg is the day after Colonial Beach Sprint. I'm going to be talking with y'all about getting involved with that, not doing the race, but helping out with the service part of it. But here's the really cool idea I have. I want to combine with Morton Sport after Junior Nationals. And what I would like to do is get all the teams involved and stay a couple extra days there and really serve the Westchester, Ohio community. We've already linked in with a pastor of a church there that knows where the need is, and the next step is just kind of putting this into place. So I just want you to keep that in mind the days after Nationals, when y'all don't have to train, I'd like for you to stay in Westchester and let's do something great in that community. So keep that in mind, and we'll get you more details as we kind of get through this, okay? When is Richmond? How did you get to that question? Now, if you're more than sports. It should be January 15th. That's what I've requested. I'm waiting for USAT to say that that's okay. The amateur races are open now. All the other races at Richmond. We will be the first to open of the junior league races, and you will get millions of emails from me before they open. Any other questions on this? All right. So how are we going to get those results? Again, I don't want this to sound too pitchy, because that's not what it is. I want y'all to understand, again, what's important to us and how we get the results we do. So expertise, our experts are constantly seeking, our coaches are constantly seeking to be at the very top in terms of our expertise. That's our commitment to y'all guys. I promise you, you've got the best coaches out there in terms of our knowledge. It's not me, it's our whole team of coaches. Attention to detail, that's something that we've always just prided ourselves. I hope that all of y'all feel like just an attention to detail in terms of what your training plan looks like and everything else. Just you've always experienced. We're very relationship driven, which I talked about in the past. That's that story, caring about, I want to know what's going on in the rest of your life, not just that you're getting to your goal here of getting faster, okay? So it's about that relationship, it's about those stories. And then we're very developmentally focused. So again, what I talked about is we're focused on not bringing in the top athletes out there and coaching them to stay at the top. I care about bringing in athletes who are new and want to be developed over time. And that we do a great job of developing from year to year to take athletes to another level. That's our focus. This list of stuff, we are unique. I don't know if there's another coaching organization in the country that does everything we do. I list these because I want you to take advantage of them. Take advantage of all of our different coaches. Reach out to them for private sessions and to do further analysis. We've got all that technology there and the coaches to be able to help you there. Our training center, you'll have full access to the training center. Come in and use it when you need it. I know most of your training, y'all are lucky, is done together as a group, but for extra stuff, you have access to the endless pool and you have access to all this stuff. Our technology, it's something that a lot of y'all haven't done that I would love to see you do is get VO2 max tested. Find out where your numbers are. It gives me a lot more information about where your limitations are and what we need to address the most in terms of what type of intensity we need to give you specifically. So our shop, obviously, y'all use that well. Then just the fact that we coach youth and adults. Parents, love to see you come and take advantage of the adult programs we have here as well. Some of y'all already do. Let me just say, I thought that was it. All right, so a few things of training plans. I want to give you a little big picture on where we're at, and this will be the last thing we tackle. And I need y'all to do something. All right? I need y'all to step it up in terms of how you provide feedback. Okay? Here's the big picture there. Okay? I can coach you so much better if you follow through on your half. Okay? If y'all don't follow through on your half, I'm not getting all the information I need to coach you effectively. Okay? Some of you are great at this. Some of you are okay at this. Some of you are horrible at this. And most of the horrible ones have gotten better. So I will give it that. So we're going to talk through this a little bit. I'm going to give you some examples. But I'm going to just jump down to the training plan. So just so y'all understand, that everyone understands, what I do for y'all, for other areas, is we operate off of 7 different training tracks. They're built around first year youth, second year youth, third year youth, first year junior, second year junior, third year junior, fourth year junior. But that's not how I necessarily place you. So you might be a third year junior, right, because you're 18 or something. But I might have you on the second year youth plan because you're brand new to the sport, okay? Or you might have a huge swimming background and be a second year youth, and I might have you on second year junior swimming plan, okay? And then on the bike and run plans, I might have you second year youth. Okay, so these provide me a base to start you and make sure that the training is consistent year after year. Okay, so I create these bases. These don't stay the same from year to year. Meaning, at the beginning of 2016, I didn't take the 2015 plans and copy them over. All right, I evolved them, keeping within the same goals of them. But I learn every year, so I pass that on to y'all. Once I create the basis and I ping you onto that plan, okay, then I make individual modifications to each of your plans, okay? Don't tell all of our adults this, because with our group program, one, we don't check feedback as much, and we don't individualize plans for a group, but I really, really care about y'all's training a whole lot, and I want to make sure you have everything possible to excel. So then I go in and I individualize each individual plan where modifications need to be had. Not everyone needs modifications. The plan might work perfectly. So that's where we are. You just saw where we are in the year cycle. Okay, so we started in September with our big begin and build. Okay, and we're gonna bring that to fruition, peak fitness, at the beginning of March. Then we regroup and build to nationals. Okay, so we're still in the beginning stages of developing some foundational fitness. What this means is we're still building some volume, and we're working on foundational speed training, okay? So instead of long speed sets, we're doing short speed, really short speed sets with good rest in terms of our speed. For endurance sets, we're doing short endurance sets, like all of your 200s, 400s on the running, and your 50s and 25s with short rests. It's a way of getting at the endurance benefits, but with shorter intervals so that mentally we can build confidence and we can hold a certain pace. So that's where we are right now in the program. That'll progress to very race-specific training as we get closer to the key races, okay, and longer endurance sets, okay?
I know like when we run and we bike, we have different workouts like after that, and like that's for our age or like what group we're in. But why do we all do the same workout when we swim?
Why do you do the same workout in the swim?
Like in the swim, like I do the same workout as Colson and Marissa, and Matthew does the same workout that we do.
So I essentially build three different workouts. They're all based around the same workout, but different volume in different pace zones for the 3 different lanes that y'all are in.
We don't do those.
Yeah, we still do the same volume.
Jason writes my workout and we all do mine.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk to y'all as individuals because it's,
I'm doing the same workout as Matthew.
you're doing the same volume as Matthew?
Yeah.
That's impossible. You're not going the same speed as him, so you would have
Well,
to be
what
different.
happens is
Well, like they get cut short and I finish. Like they might still have like
Yeah.
a little left over by the time that they get there, but like
I'll talk it over with Jason. But you do have to remember that you're in a pool. We're limited to 3 lanes, and we have to. It's impossible for everyone. So I've got to make chunks. Okay, everyone can't be doing a different workout. Plus, that would be stupid because then y'all wouldn't have each other to push it.
Yeah, but what's the value of
For like the main sets, like he did this the other day, he moved us into the lanes depending on our speed.
What'd you say?
He moved us into the different lanes depending on our speed.
Yeah, you're in the different lanes, and there's the based on your speed, one lane the main set should be a little bit longer than the other lane.
What's the value in Matthew doing Colson attempting to do the same workout as Matthew when Colson can just do like a shortened version and Matthew to get the whole thing done? It's like a lot of times we miss the kick set or like the pull set at the end because we're trying to do a workout.
Yeah, the main set should be a little bit shorter. I can show you how it's all laid out. We don't have time for it right now, but the main set should be shorter for the different lanes. Again, I have 3 different workouts. So just so you know, Callie, so the seven different progressions, the overall volume for the week is different. Okay, much of that overall volume is based on what you're doing outside of the practices. Okay, so you have your practices, and we try to keep you all together as a group as much as possible, but then you might have a 2,000 meter swim on a Wednesday, okay? Matthew might have a 5,000 meter swim on a Wednesday, which he can attest to, and Colson might not have any swim on Wednesday.
Okay.
So that's where the big volume, and then at practice I try to keep things fairly similar. Now with that said, it should be 3, it's not a different workout, it's a different volume, a smaller main set for those 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and I'll talk it over with Jason, just to make sure everything's happening.
after Claremont, are we gonna get like a break or is it just gonna be easy training like from that like
The week
building
after,
back up? Yeah.
I would say I'm leaning more to doing a week off after Claremont. We'll see how y'all are feeling at that point. Okay? Any other questions there? Okay, cool. Let's look at training peaks real quick. Even some of you returners, I think y'all might already only look at this on your phone, and you're missing a little bit of opportunity here. So let's just bring up one of y'all. Let's bring up Kieran. Nope, not Karen Fraser. All right. So here's a training plan, okay? Karen, I hope you don't mind. So here's a training plan. You can see, weeks of development on there. Yes. Notice all the green. So I'm loading this. You're seeing it on your side. I'm loading it on my side, okay? I can make individual modifications. If I type in here, if I bring this up and type in here something, hey, Callie, how are you? It's going to show up on your side, okay? This details every workout that you're supposed to do in a week, okay? You have to refer to this. 85% of them are done with me or Jason, okay? So you're hands-on with me. The other stuff, you need to know, hey, I need to do this workout because it's on my plan. I put it there for a specific reason. It wasn't unintentional. It wasn't just on the fly. It had a specific reason, and it builds over time. So if you're not doing it, okay, then we're missing out on something. Now, you might say, schedule doesn't work for me, okay? For whatever reason, I can't work out on Fridays, okay? Come to me, I'll adjust it. We'll make it work for you, okay? But if you don't communicate that with me, then it won't really be done, okay? So this shows what you're supposed to follow on a daily basis. After you do the workout, okay, it is your responsibility to log feedback. Even if I saw you, even if I watch you, even if in the cycling classes I've got my computer and I'm reading your power and your heart rate file right in front of me, I still want you to go log feedback, okay? One reason for that is it is your record. It is your record 10 years from now to go back and look at your training. It's your record to go back and look at the conversations we had about that training, okay? It is also a process of both of us, not in the heat of the workout, okay? Taking some time when we can reflect on it outside of it, okay? It is something extra that I do for y'all, but very few of y'all actually take advantage of it. And by asking y'all to do it, I'm actually making a lot more work for myself, but I want to, because it'll enable you to get to where you want to be. So, the typical response is y'all have been going in, sorry, Karen, I'm going to compliment you in just a second. But you go in and you put that you did an hour and 30 minutes because that's what the duration was supposed to be, so that your workout will turn green, okay? and then you move on, okay? And you're done. That tells me it tells me something, but it tells me very little, especially with your swim workouts, which is where y'all do this the most with. That's where I get the least feedback, and guess what? I'm not at your swim workouts. I want to know how they went.
So you even want like this
Yes.
too hard.
Yes.
I had that day.
Yes.
Right.
But even more importantly, as I asked Kieran for here, splits, question mark, question mark, question mark. Tell me something. All right? Tell me something. So here's the deal. I'm not asking. Y'all don't have to, it'd be awesome, but y'all, I don't need, if we did 40 25s, honestly, I don't want you to put 40 25 splits, okay? I want you to tell me, on average, on the 25s, I was around 18 seconds, all right? That's fun, that's great. Maybe my fastest one was 16, it was 19. I felt great today. Man, this stunk. I want to know that. I want to know how it went. And I want some facts, okay? So at the very least, that's what I need everyone to do. Log your duration and tell me how it went. Now you are to post that. Well, let me just bring this one back up. So one, there's the detail, okay? It tells you exactly what to do, okay? Now that we've done some testing, I'm updating your zones, you should know what your zone 5 is. Okay? You should know what your zone 4 is for swimming, in running. And then you guys with power meters and heart rate monitors should know it for biking as well. Take responsibility for yourself. If you want to get faster, this is how you do it. Okay? And then after, you write here. Does everyone see that area? Post-activity comments. That's where you write. Okay? I will respond here. Okay? I respond probably 2-3 times a week. I'll look over all of those. And I'll respond. Next time you log in, go back and check my responses. Okay? I took time to put some thoughts in there, stuff that I expect gets communicated to you. You never go back and look at it. Let me know, because I just won't do it. But you got to go back and look. Are you asking about food of the day?
No.
Because that's all of that.
I use training too, and it's kind of irritating to have to go back and look to see what if there was a response. And can you set it up so it's send an email if there's a
there is an email notification. I don't know. No, Training Peaks will make you pay extra for it. So, Lynette, let me answer that by saying it's annoying to me as well. I have to do the same thing. I have to. Yeah, I get it. So what I do is I go to the most recent workout and I work my way back. And so I'll go and I'll be like, okay, did they post feedback here? And then I respond to that. And then I go to the next workout back and I post feedback here. They old. Well,
I'm trying to make it stronger.
I get, what'd you say?
There's a way to do that. I always had that before.
It used to be. When they switched over to the new update, you no longer can do list view, which is awesome. And I've already asked for it. They said they don't have plans right now, but it was awesome. You could bring it up and you could see post-activity comments and pre-activity comments, and you could see where the responses have been. I loved it. They don't have it now. It takes me more time to do it, but it is what it is. I can't force Training Peaks to do it, but I want to. So that's an example of what I need a little bit more of.
You should get Aaron to change it.
It's not, it's way above his pay grade. Okay, so here is Kieran again. I'm gonna give him a huge applause because Kieran's actually the best. Hate to call him out as the best, but even with issues, he's the best at doing this. Here's the run from Monday. Our time, very important to put in there. Okay. So first off, he went one step further, which I want all of y'all to do. He uploaded a file. Okay. Let me show you what that file looks like.
I started it late, but that's why I said the one.
So here's his file. Okay, you see his heart rate curve. You see his pace. See, I can pull things off, and I can say what did the first half of it look like? What did the second half of it look like? So I analyze this. It takes time, but it's worth it. Then watch this. I go back here. Okay, what I would love to have seen a little bit more of is tell me how it felt. I got the file, so honestly, I don't really need the splits. But on the swim, I need the splits. On running and cycling, I can look at the file if you put it up. Swimming, I don't want you in the pool doing this the whole time. I want you to look at the pace clock. I want you to get a general idea of your paces and just give me a general idea. Okay? But look at this. So I analyze this file. This is a great effort, Kieran. Average is 5:38 pace for the 2 miles. This is how it broke down in 800s. First 800 was 5:29 pace, 184 average heart rate, 193 max heart rate. The second one was 5:40 pace. Okay, I laid it all out for him so that I made sure we were on the same page. Then I said, so we went out a bit fast, but overall it was a good effort. I would like to see you start at 5:40 pace in the future and then stomp on it in the last mile. Okay, now we know. Next 2 mile effort, I know exactly how to coach Kieran. We're going to start at 5:40 pace. We're going to assume that we're stronger at that point. With 800 to go, I'm going to have him just drop the hammer. right? The rest of you, I hate to say it, I know your time, I don't know how it went. I don't really know how to advise you in terms of your pacing. So you got to give me the information. I say the rest of you, it's not the rest of you. Some of y'all do this decently well. I'm sorry to say it that way. But in general, I think we can all get better. Kieran can get better too. All right? I gave you those reasons. Now, let's go to another person. All right? This is an out-of-town athlete I coach.
It'll be all red, that's live red.
Jesse, you do a great job of this. I don't mean to call you out. Matthew typically does a decent job of this. The rest of you are logging, you're turning your planned Christmas colors. Thank you. But I need you to give me a little bit more than that. All right? All right? There's one. Where is that? It's here. So here's someone for a swim workout, because I wanted to give you a swim workout example. Puts all the splits down. Okay? Again, it's great, because what I could do, this is for an 800 time trial, I could break down exactly, she went out a little hard, and she had a little bit left at the end. It enables me to give a lot more information, but I understand it's hard to keep all that in your head. I don't need all that, but look, I was able to give a lot of feedback to her. With most of y'all, I just respond with splits, question, because I'm trying to make a point that I want you to give me more information. Yep, Olivia?
Never mind.
Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Again, it's simply, I can do more for you if y'all do your half, all right? That's all it is. I'm not, no way am I upset. I just want y'all to be able to benefit from this. Does that all make sense? Any questions about that? So, hold on one second. I sent out directions. I'll email these out too, guys. I sent out directions on how to upload your Garmin earlier this week. Okay? It takes a little while. I make like an hour's time to kind of set all this up and make sure it works. But it's going to make it really easy. The cool part is if you follow those instructions, every time you download your watch or your computer, it will instantly load it to TrainPeaks as well. Now, it's not ideal because it doesn't always load it to the right workout. It just like creates a new file, but I'll go and look at that. It works. But it automatically does it. Okay? So, I mean, guys, it's just trying to make it easier on you, and that will just enable you to get a lot more value out of it. Olivia, do you have another question?
Okay, so what's the examples that go along?
Oh, those are the examples I just showed you. Does that make sense? Here are the steps. Not that Hannah, sorry. That's Hannah, that coach out of town. You'll meet her at some of the races. So, this is kind of where, at the very least, you gotta put in your duration. That's kind of where a lot of y'all are getting stuck. Okay. The next step is input comments, splits, and how it felt. You put that in post-activity comments. All right. The next step is to upload a file. Once you set it up, you take that hour. All you got to do is whenever you're at the computer, okay, you just hook in your USB stick, and it reads it, and you're good to go. Okay? And then I review and I put in pre-activity comments, and then you review my posts. Okay? If I have additional questions, I'll email you. Because there's not really a good way to go back. There's not a good way to go back and forth from there. So I'll post, and then if it's like I've got another question after you've already posted once, I'm going to expect you to see it, but I'm also going to email you. All right?
So I set it up just like how you did in the email. Like I redid it all, and that's how I got it to work.
Great.
If I just like plug the hand stick in turn the Garmin on and it syncs, do I have to do anything, or is it just boom right there?
It should go all in. If it goes up to Garmin Connect, it's going to go to your TrainPeaks as well.
All right.
So for you new guys, real quick, so I like for everyone to have a watch that has a Garmin on it, all right, or a GPS. I'd like for them to have a Garmin that has GPS, or another watch that has GPS, but I recommend Garmin. And so that's step one, all right? Next step is have a heart rate monitor as a piece of that, okay? That heart rate monitor we can wear with running and biking, all right? And that gives me, so for instance, when we were running intervals yesterday, and we did that effort yesterday, in the middle of the effort, Kieran and Ben were running faster than goal. And I was like, tell me y'all are wearing a heart rate monitor. The reason that I asked that is because either at that point we're running faster than goal, meaning we're not reaching the specific physiological adaptation that I want them to achieve because we're just running too fast. So we're running in a new zone that has a different desired effect than what I wanted, okay? So either that's happening or they've gotten fitter. The only reason, the way I know if they've gotten fitter and they're not just running too hard is because their heart rate is in the right zone. If their heart rate's in the right zone and their pace is faster than zone, that tells me they've gotten fitter. Now I'll increase their pace zones. But if I don't have heart rate, I'm gonna probably assume you're just running too hard, okay? And I'm not gonna increase your pace zones. So you see where data gives me information? So every race, every workout, I need you to have a watch that has some kind of pace on it, and I need heart rate. Now, I've asked many of y'all to consider a power meter this winter. Power is the absolute best way to indicate intensity. Heart rate lags. So if we're doing a 5-minute effort, for the first 3 minutes of it, heart rate will be lower than what you're actually doing, okay? Power is instantaneous, okay? It's not affected by if you're stressed, if you got enough sleep, how long the effort. It is point blank, this is how hard you're working, okay? From there, okay, I can also track progress over time from that power meter. The downside to power is why I'm not making it a requirement is they're expensive, okay? Many of y'all bought some. I really appreciate it because it's gonna enable me to coach you so much better, and it's gonna enable y'all to understand what you're really doing on the bike, okay? Some of you are renting them. We created that option. That works great as well, all right? But I understand they are expensive, but it is the absolute best investment you can make on a bike, okay? Some of you are asking, how expensive are these things? They're about $700. It's an investment, but it is the best investment you can possibly make. So that's big picture. What questions do we have?